Hello there, people of the internet. It's me, it's that JOLT, your former Joltish champion, and what I'm here to do today is a bit unusual for Joltage. Normally we wouldn't really do lists because Carnage isn't exactly the biggest fan of them, considering he figures that it's ripping off of every other wrestling YouTube thing that happens. But it's like at least since I'm doing it now, he can't really complain because he doesn't really do anything for the channel. So your editor and one of your on-screen personalities kind of hijacking the channel for a little while. And what I'm here to do today, I'm going to do my top 6 favorite wrestling belts. Personally, these are all opinion-based. These are my favorites. If you don't see your favorite on here, that doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means that these are the ones that fully caught my eye and mainly admired them. I have nothing against I have nothing against WWE fully. It's that everyone else, whenever you look on YouTube for top favorite wrestling belts, it's all WWE. Like, you call yourself a wrestling channel, but you only cover WWE. So, for those actual professional wrestling fans that never really get to see their championships on the list, you're welcome. So I'm gonna start off with a personal favorite of mine. It is the TNA X Division Championship. And I'm not talking about the NWA TNA one that was held by Chris Daniels way back in the day. And I'm talking about the current one, which looks like a fusion of the Oval Intercontinental Championship and the NXT Championship merged together. I'm talking about the circular one, which was like gold, red, and black, and it was held by Austin Aries for like a long as hell time. And that belt always kind of stood out to me. It's a really good belt. It's started all the way back in 2002. It's been held by greats like Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Low Key, DJZ, Eddie Edwards, so shockingly, was Bobby Lashley when he was on this whole rampage of holding all the championships. So I don't exactly recount him, but it's been held by some really great talents. A few of my personal favorites to hold that belt have been Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, Low Key, and Brian Kendrick. Also, Manic has held it for a few times, like I think twice. And that's if you don't know who Manic is, he's the current WWE Cruiserweight Champion, TJ Perkins. And and for those of you who are wondering, it's like I am a huge fan of TJ Perkins. I've been a huge fan of his ever since I saw him in TNA, like around the time they dropped the whole Suicide persona and just went with Manic. And then he was in the Suicide costume without the word Suicide on it. And then he just completely changed it up like 3 separate times, and then he just was like, oh, well, screw it. After the X Division Championship, my number 5 favorite championship is the WCW World Championship from 91 to 93. And which is funny because I wasn't born until 94. So around the time I came around, this championship was no longer there. So around the time I came into existence and wrestling was still going on, they had moved to the big gold championship. And some odd reason, that was like the WCW World Championship from 91 to 93 stuck out with me the most. It's like I always see it in the WWE games. And it's a really good belt. It's a really solid look. It's like silver, blue. It's like gold, blue, and silver. If it's not silver, it's black. But it's still a really good championship. It looks original. It's not like a copy and paste of every other championship that you see around the world of every other company. So it's kind of a good one to see. It's been held by great wrestlers from Sting to Ric Flair to Randy Savage, and the list goes on from Bret Hart to DDP to Booker T and all the lot. It's like around the time I was born, and it's like when they were in the Monday Night Wars, I never really watched it because I was really too young to understand it. I'm only 22 now, but it's just like if I had to pick one belt from WCW that I see all the time in the WWE games, is I'd have to pick the WCW World. My number 4 favorite is the Lucha Underground Trio Championship. If you haven't watched Lucha Underground, if you don't know what the hell it is, it's a Lucha Libre style company but it's like mixed in with like it's like indie style, like Ring of Honor. So like Ring of Honor, I want to say what Ring of Honor, TNA, and like basically like all the smaller ones like Evolve and such. The one that this one belt on out of all of Lucha Underground that stands out to me is the Lucha Underground Trio Championship, because it's kind of like your normal everyday average tag team championships, but instead of it only being two people that get to hold the belts, it's three people, and it's been held by it's like the inaugural champions were Son of Havoc, who's also known as Matt Cross, um, and Helico, who's from South Africa. And if you know me, if you've been friends with me, you know I'm a huge fan of any wrestler who's from South Africa, including PJ Black and Adam Rose. Back then, was Leo Kruger before he was known from being from the Bahamas. And that's it. It's been an Evilise, who was like the first female, the first, as they call it, luchadora, in Lucha Underground to hold the championship. However, Sexy Star is the first one to hold a singles one, which is still awesome. And funny, everyone's just like, it's like later down the line, kind of a spoiler here, but she does actually end up winning the, Sexy Star does end up winning the Lucha Underground Championship, because I'm fighting right now. Backstage, he's like the first current champion is Pentagon. However, the current champion on screen is Matanza. So it's kind of a spoiler. After the Lucha Underground Championship was the Ring of Honor World Championship, which is a great championship. Started about on the same time as TNA did in 2002. It's been held by phenomenal champions like let's see. It's been held by Samoa Joe. It's been held by Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Jamie Noble held it once, which is actually a shock. And current roster of people like Jay Briscoe, Adam Cole, who are both two-time champions. Michael Elgin, who's a one-time. Jay Lethal, who held it for a phenomenal reign, almost came incredibly close to ending Samoa Joe's reign at 648 days. However, Lethal came short at 567, which is still a great length of time, because no one thought he would ever win the championship, and Jay Lethal was one of my absolute favorite wrestlers. So, the Ring of Honor World Championship is a great championship to watch. There's nothing majorly bad about it. I mean, there's nothing that can be bad about the championship. It's been held by great wrestlers. A lot of people go, oh, well, it's just an indie company. It's like, yeah, but unlike WWE, it's not all like drama and soap opera style storylines. It's just pure, hard-hitting, death-defying wrestling, and it's entertaining. It's like, as I said, Adam Cole, Jay Lethal, Jay Briscoe, Michael Elgin, and a slew of others are like my favorite wrestlers out of all of them, out of all of the Ring of Honor wrestlers. So it was like, I actually loved this. Like, I went to go see them last year when they were in Baltimore, which is actually great, because it's a really fun, because if you ever get a chance to go see a Ring of Honor show, go, because it's great. After the Ring of Honor Championship is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, which has been held by MVP Shinsuke Nakamura, Kenny Omega, Michael Elgin, Hiroki Goto. It's been held by some really great wrestlers. It's like it didn't get started until about 5 years ago in 2011 when MVP brought it in. It's like he was the inaugural champion. They crowned him the champion after like a 6-pack challenge or something like that. But it's like it's been a good championship. The current champion is Michael Elgin, who's in his first reign. It's like, and Elgin currently is a badass right now. Is like he's not exactly heel, not exactly face. He's in between as a tweener, or as a neutral, as many people want to call him. But he's still awesome as hell. It's like I loved it. I love IWGP at the Intercontinental Championship. Basically, any belt that has like a white strap of it is it's basically one of my favorites. So that's it. The number 2 is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, and my number 1 most favorite, the Professional Wrestling Championship, is the NXT Championship. Now, it's like, now, granted, a lot of people want to go, oh, it's WWE. Yes, it is. However, it's NXT is just better than Raw and SmackDown. You can argue that SmackDown Live is the better out of the two, but NXT is always going to be better than WWE, than the main roster. I'm sorry, you might not feel the same way, but it is. It's like the NXT Championship, first held by Seth Rollins, and then later B. Langston, and then Bo Dallas, and then Neville, and then Sami Zayn, and then Kevin Owens, and then Finn Balor, and then Samoa Joe, and then now Nakamura. So it's been like 10 champions in like the 6 or 4 years it's been active. So it's a great championship. The NXT Championship is a great championship. There's been phenomenal matches with every single person who's held the belt, including when Finn Balor beat Seth. It's like when Finn Balor beat Kevin Owens for all the way in Japan as a homecoming, and that phenomenal one. It's like I've been a fan of NXT since it first came around in 2012. And then I actually remember watching that full Gold Rush tournament like every freaking week up until Seth Rollins won it. And then I was just astounded because I didn't know much about Seth Rollins up until he won the belt. And then I went and researched him, and I saw how incredibly good he was. And I was like, yeah, I knew he was going to be a full-time big name star when they pulled him up to the main roster. For some reason, I have that ability to call who's going to be a good star and who's not going to be, because I called CM Punk being a legend, like being a star when he was at ECW. I remember in the Shield, I was always telling people that Seth Rollins was going to be the breakout star. And like everyone was saying Roman was going to be or Dean was going to be, but it turned out to be Seth, so I was right. I even called them making Ryback a Paul Heyman guy for a while. And everyone thought I was crazy up until they actually made Ryback a Paul Heyman guy, which was awesome. Up until that he was in the heel and then switched him to a face, and then that just completely killed all momentum for him. But those are my top 6: the X Division, the WCW World from 91 to 93, the Lucha Underground Trios Championship, the Ring of Honor World, the IWGP Intercontinental, and the NXT Championship. So yeah, those are my top 6. Just because it's like if you are watching this video and one of your picks didn't make it onto the list, that doesn't mean I don't like it. I just kind of want to do something different, because every single one time someone does a wrestling list, it's all WWE based, and WWE is not the only professional wrestling company in the world, obviously. So yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and help promote this Jolted Fallout. I'll try to do a list video every week. If I can, I'll just start a discussion show with Carnage, so we can start discussing wrestlers and stuff like that, and like ranting on stuff. But yeah, don't really hold your breath for that, because Carnage is like basically not really all that involved. But so yeah, those go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to Joltage. And I'll see you all later. Buh!